Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video, I wanted to chat a bit about the news that dropped yesterday regarding the removal of Pinnacle Weapons in Destiny 2 moving forward. Now, in the background, you're going to be watching a bunch of gameplay from Shadowkeep. Now, this isn't main story spoilers or anything like that. This is a strike, a brand new strike that you're seeing in the background, and honestly, I feel like this strike has so much visual, like, eye candy. Like, they did a really good job with the overall aesthetic of the moon and the Scarlet Keep in general, and really enjoyed my time that I spent there at Bungie getting to get some hands-on time with Shadowkeep. So enjoy that gameplay, appreciate the environment as much as I did, and also there's a little bit of team killing in here too, because one of my teammates was the Jazz, and there's a part of this strike where I may have sent him down under again. Anyways, moving forward. So Pinnacle Weapons, the removal of these. So is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I know there's a lot of mixed emotions regarding the removal of these Pinnacle Weapons online right now. And I wanted to chat about this. You know, my initial reaction, and I think the reaction that I'm kind of sticking with, is that I see this as this is all right. I understand this decision, and while it's a bummer, you know, I think we all looked forward to seeing what's the new Pinnacle Weapon for the season going to be in each activity. Which one am I going to go for first? You know, it added a different element to the Destiny experience that we had not had before Pinnacle Weapons existed. But here's the reality. Pinnacle Weapons, basically, their whole thing was that there were legendaries that had exotic perks on them. You know, some unique perk that was just really freaking good at one specific thing, right? And so these Pinnacle Weapons were legendaries that inherited the traits of exotics, and in my opinion, but they surpassed exotics. They really did. You know, it's crazy to think about. There's a meta. There's like the strongest thing, the strongest build you could possibly use for Pinnacle PvE activities, right? That had no exotics in it, no exotic weapons in it whatsoever. You know, there's people out there, full raid teams going in to take down the strongest combatants in Destiny history in the Pinnacle raid activities without a single exotic in their inventory. But what they're doing is they've got these Pinnacle Weapons, you know, Mountaintop, Recluse, burning bosses with low manning raids without exotic weapons. And that's the thing, it's like the things that became the best, the things that in a lot of ways kind of broke encounters, were Pinnacle Weapons. And so I totally understand this decision, because these Pinnacle Weapons have made it exceedingly difficult to balance the sandbox both in PvE and in PvP. And as far as raids are concerned, it's a bummer that, I mean, outside of the 1-2 punch shoddy strats, outside of that, these Pinnacle Weapons basically watered down these encounters in such a way that people were able to burn bosses without actually having to really play the encounter out. Without experiencing all the different dynamics of these raid encounters the designers put in to make a challenge, to make an enjoyable activity. And you know, I think that that's not true to the spirit of Destiny, especially with a lot of the raid encounters in D1, where you had to go here and do this objective, and then you know, there are all these different phases. And Destiny 2 has some different phases in the boss encounters, but for the most part, all the boss burns look exactly the same. It's just teams of people standing in one spot. As soon as the DPS phase comes up, they stand in one spot all together, no reloading, and just blah 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 with their mountaintops. You know what I mean? And Recluse is just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, and especially on PC. And I do most of my PvE stuff on PC, and with a mouse and keyboard especially, Recluse is insane. It's so easy. You can kill anything, and it takes sort of the planning out of out of playing these encounters. It just waters it down to be a lot more of a brainless activity. And so while I loved these weapons, and sure, I mean, people are going to throw this in my face. I totally understand it. They're going to be like, well, you were like, Pinnacle Weapons are amazing back when they first came out. It's like, yeah, I mean, we were all like that. You know what I mean? We came out of a year of a watered-down Destiny experience, and then we were given these Pinnacle Weapons, and it was like something powerful again. You know, we were excited. Who wouldn't be? And so, I mean, I already had that on Twitter. A guy was like, well, you were one of the biggest proponents for these things. It's like, well, I don't know that I would say that I was a big proponent of them. I liked them when they came out, and I said that I liked them when they came out, but I think we all did. I mean, the first thing we saw was Redrix's Claymore, and, you know, we liked that. It wasn't game-breaking, but it had a really cool mechanic to it. And contrasting that against the, you know, the year one experience for Destiny, when Warmind came out and we got this new Pinnacle weapon, we were excited about it, absolutely. And it didn't break the game. But then the things that followed became the most challenging things to balance for the Sandbox team. And the most obnoxious for players to play against. I'm going to tell you right now, the things that I hate playing against in PvP, I spend a lot of time in PvP. The things that are the most obnoxious weapons for me to play against right now are, and keep in mind I play mostly on console, Not Forgotten, Mountaintop, Recluse. These things are obnoxious to play against, and in conjunction with things like One-Eyed Mask, even more so. And then here's the thing. Like I said, these are legendaries that inherit the traits of exotic weapons by having something really unique. What that does is it basically makes it so that in PvP especially, you have like a full exotic loadout. And I say that, what I mean is that you have 2 Pinnacle Weapons a lot of time in people's inventories, or 1, Not Forgotten and a Dust Rock, or a Mountaintop and Recluse. So you got mostly Pinnacle Weapons in their kinetic and energy slots that behave like exotics, but don't take an exotic slot. And so what is the only thing people run in PvP for their heavy? What's the only thing they run? It's exotic rocket launchers. So because Pinnacle Weapons exist, it removed the power of choice for kinetic and energy. You don't have to consider, I mean, sure, every now and then you see a last word, but for the most part, people don't feel like they have to run an exotic in their kinetic and energy slot, and that just means we get farmed by Wardcliff Coil and Truth, things that you can't defend against, things that are brainless and free, easy, I win buttons in PvP, and it even just makes for a more frustrating experience. So when it all boils down to it, not only do I understand the decision to move away from Pinnacle Weapons, I think I endorse it. I think I'm behind this. I think I can say, you know what, I think that's the right call, and I can get behind that. And I've already seen the people who are like, well, there's literally no point for me to play PvP anymore. PvP is going to die without Pinnacle Weapons. It's like, what? PvP has been around for literal years, for several years in Destiny, without the existence of Pinnacle Weapons. Like, PvP is not going to go away because a Pinnacle Weapon isn't there. And most people, they keep playing PvP after they have a Pinnacle Weapon. Most people play PvP because PvP is fun, or they enjoy the experience, or you know, the other grinds that exist within the PvP experience. They like that. I've also seen people who are like, there's no reason to play the glory playlist anymore. Well, I don't know, maybe for the glory. I don't know. I grew up in a time where I grinded for literally a couple of years Halo activities in ranked playlists. Why? Was it for a Pinnacle Weapon? No, it was for a number. I did it for a number next to my name, so that when I was going around killing people in Halo, they'd inspect you and they'd be like, oh, this guy's got a max rank of 50. You know, I did it for the number. It was the vanity. It was peacocking. It was flexing something, you know? It was personal achievement. The ranked playlist, yes, I agree that it should have rewards, and I think that we will still have rewards within that glory experience for people who excel and perform well. I think they know they have to still incentivize players and offer rewards in that activity. But as far as having a Pinnacle Weapon is concerned, we don't need it. People should play glory for the sake of the glory. You know what I mean? That's sort of the whole point of it. But you anyways, that's not to say that there's not going to be rewards. There certainly will be rewards. I'm certain of that. But you know, I never from the beginning liked Not Forgotten in the hands of the best players, and I said that flat out. And that's coming from somebody who got it as soon as it was available. You know, I just don't believe in putting the strongest weapons in the hands of the best players, because I think that creates, especially when quick play is connection based, I think that creates a frustrating atmosphere for casual players, and I think that's bad for the game. So I don't personally like that. And these Pinnacle Weapons have just made it difficult for some of the more casual players to enjoy playing against them, and frustrating for even me to play against them because they're aggravating weapons. But the only thing that I would say is that I think it's a bummer that we lose like the Vanguard Pinnacle Weapons in the process, and we still have these pursuit weapons to chase after, which is cool, but they're not going to have some game-breaking ridiculous perk. But what that does mean, guys, is that we're just going to get back to the roots of what makes Destiny great. You know, the exotic weapons will continue to be the things that are exceptionally unique, you know, and there's going to be some unique legendaries as well. Unique legendaries aren't going away, but yeah, I've seen a couple of comments that I fully agreed with. One of them was that Pinnacle Weapons basically removed the focus on grinding for God rolls on things in Destiny, and there's a couple of exceptions to that. Obviously, people would chase like a spare rations and things like that, but in D1 there was a lot more chasing those God rolls because we didn't have these set godly Pinnacle Weapons with set rolls out there that watered down that grind. So it'll be good to get back to really trying to optimize your legendaries with God rolls. It'll be nice to have that back, and then to have the exotics be the things that are the really unique weapons. And Triple Rec even said something as well that sort of along those lines regarding the potency of exotics. He tweeted out, "Pinnacle Weapons are no more. While this is somewhat disappointing, it's become basically a necessity. Ultimately, it'll be healthier to focus that effort into making new and better exotics, which have always been meant to be the true Pinnacle gear," which I totally agree with. It sort of reiterates what I'm talking about here. Anyways, well, I hope you enjoyed the video and the thoughts. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on the removal of Pinnacle Weapons. I'm curious to know. Also, just a heads up, I do have some supporter exclusive content on the Facebook page. So if you're not aware, you know, my community's now got a big subset on Facebook Gaming, and that's where I live stream now. And it's facebook.com/thetruevanguard. And you can join our page there for free, be a part of our community, watch live streams. But if you choose to become a supporter, unlike Twitch, Facebook doesn't take any of my supporter revenue. They don't take a cut. They don't take half of it or 30% of it like Twitch would. So if you hit that support button, you're only supporting me and not them. And you get access to my supporter-only group called The Frontlines, which has discounts on all of our True Vanguard merchandise. You can LFG, you can share your clips and plays, etc., and get access to some of my supporter exclusive uploads. So anyways, hope to see you over there on the page sometime. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.